Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about the G train, starting at Court Square. So at Court Square, and there's only 2 stops on the G. So at Court Square, you could transfer to the 7M and R trains. And the G train used to go all the way to Forest Hill 71st Avenue. And now let's go on to 21st Street, 21st Street.
Stop is 21st Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors.
So at 21st Street, this is the last stop in Queens. This is the last station in Queens. And now let's go into Greenpoint Avenue.
The train to Church Avenue. The next stop is Greenpoint Avenue.
So at Greenpoint Avenue, this is the first stop in Queens. In Brooklyn. Now let's go into Nassau Avenue.
This is the train to Church Avenue. The next stop is Nassau Avenue.
So at Nassau Avenue is a terminus station for the G during when the stations in Queens are part is suspended. Now let's go into Metropolitan Avenue.
This is the train to Church Avenue. The next stop is Metropolitan Avenue, Lorimer Street. This stop is Metropolitan Avenue, Lorimer Street. Change here for the L train.
So, at Metropolitan Avenue, you could transfer to the L train.
Cowboy hat, a leopard.
So, at Broadway. So, let's go on to Broadway.
This is the train to Church Avenue. The next stop is Broadway.
So at Broadway, there's like a misspelled Broadway name and the Broadway station. But I don't know what side is it on. Now let's go into Flushing Avenue.
This is the train to Church Avenue. The next stop is Flushing Avenue.
This is another boring station. And now let's go on to Myrtle Willoughby Avenues.
This is the train to Church Avenue. The next stop is Myrtle Willoughby Avenues.
So there's another Myrtle Avenue station. And at Broadway, it used to be a free transfer at Hugh Street, Lorimer Street on the J&M train. Now let's go on to let's go on. And there's another Myrtle station called Myrtle Avenue on the J&M lines. Now let's go on to Bedford Nostrand Avenues.
This is the train to Church Avenue. The next stop is Bedford Nostrand Avenues.
So at Bedford Nostrand Avenues is a terminus station for the G train. And sometimes the G shuttle trains and here, and yeah. And you could transfer to the Q44, B44 or Q44 select bus service. Now let's go on to Classen Avenue.
This stop is Bedford Nostrand Avenues. Change here for the B44 select bus service. This is the train to Church Avenue. The next stop is Classen Avenue. This is the train to Church Avenue.
So at Classen Avenue is another boarding station. Now let's go on to Clinton Washington Avenues.
The next stop is Clinton Washington Avenues.
So at Clinton Washington Avenues, there's another one on the C train. Now let's go into Fulton Street.
This is the train to Church Avenue. The next stop is Fulton Street.
So at Fulton Street, it's crazy because this station's on Lafayette Avenue, and on the C train, Lafayette Avenue is called this. It's on Fulton Street. Now let's go on to Hoyt Schermerhorn Street.
This is the train to Church Avenue. The next stop is Hoyt Schermerhorn Street.
So at Hoyt Schermerhorn Street is a terminus station for the G train. You could transfer to the A and C trains. Now let's go on to Bergen Street.
This stop is Hoyt Schermerhorn Street. Change here for the A and C trains. This is the train to Church Avenue. The next stop is Bergen Street. This is the train to Church Avenue.
So at Bergen Street is a terminus station for the G train when its part is suspended. And there's actually a lower level too. And now let's go on to Carroll Street.
The next stop is Carroll Street.
So at Carroll Street is the last station underground for the G train. Now let's go on to Smith Ninth Streets.
This stop is Carroll Street. Change here for the F train. This is the train to Church Avenue. The next stop is Smith Ninth Streets.
So at Smith Ninth Streets, and it's the first station above ground for the G train, and it's the terminus station for the G train, and the A train actually used to end here. Now let's go on to 4th Avenue, 9th Street.
This is the train to Church Avenue. The next stop is 4th Avenue, 9th Street. This stop is 4th Avenue, 9th Street. Change here for the R train.
So at 4th Avenue, 9th Street, you could transfer to the R train at 9th Street. Now let's go on to 7th Avenue.
This is the train to Church Avenue. The next stop is 7th Avenue. This is the
So at 7th Avenue, you can transfer to the F Express train here. And now, let's go on to 15th Street Prospect Park.
train to Church Avenue. The next stop is 15th Street Prospect Park.
So at 15th Street Prospect Park, the G train bypasses here, and at Fort Hamilton Parkway. And now you can transfer to the F train at Prospect Park and at 4th Avenue 9th Street. Now let's go on to Church Avenue. Let me just wait
This
for
is the
that.
train to Church Avenue. The next stop is Fort Hamilton Parkway. This is the train to Church Avenue. The next and last stop is Church Avenue.
Stand clear of the closing doors.
So at Church Avenue is the last stop for the FNG train. And now let's go on. And at Church Avenue, there's a yard that goes underground. And now, yeah, that'll be the end for the G train. I'll see you guys on the J line. Bye.